I truly believe that you can save yourself from suicidal thoughts within just a few weeks. Now, you may not be that down bad, you probably aren't, but my younger self was. And it wasn't until I learned all the things that I'm gonna tell you in this video, like transforming your life, that I really changed myself. But the issue was when I started all the habits, I would think like, oh, I'm not gonna be happy until I get the 10 out of 10 aesthetic body or until I'm rich or this or that. But the truth is, you could be happy and not have any of that stuff. And so that's just what I want to talk about in this video. The main focus that I want you to have is what I call flipping the chart. So most people's lives are like this. It's just going downhill. Maybe they like peaked in high school, they peak in college, and their life just goes downhill from there, right? Well, you need to find the habits that flip the chart, that make your life go up and up and up, like what I'll talk about later. But it is this sense of hope, this sense of improvement where you know that you look at your future self and you can see that he is going to improve. He's going to be like 10 times better than you right now. That makes you so fulfilled. And you only really have to start a few habits to be able to get this sense of fulfillment that I'm talking about. You need to focus on three things: your body, your mind, and your soul. So the first thing and the biggest thing that you can do for your body is like your face, your health, your physique, all those things. The best thing you can do, and you've heard this a million times, is to get into the gym, get into weightlifting, and build muscle. Going to the gym was the first productive thing that I ever did, but before I was even going, I felt so hopeless because all my family, everyone said that, oh, you're gonna end up being like fat. They would kind of like tiptoe around that. They would say like, oh, you're gonna have issues with your waistline, is what they would say, because I would just eat like very unhealthy food. I never exercised. I never did anything. And another thing that kind of like cooked my mental health was all throughout junior high and throughout early high school, I would get bullied so much. And I really saw a huge change when I literally just got like 1 year of weightlifting, 2 years of weightlifting under my belt. I went from being like some random nobody, like just some skinny fat white guy that people like to make fun of, to then I became like that guy with muscle. And I remember when I was younger, so I talked about this before, I've always just been a funny, more social person. So back then I was like this skinny fat guy, but I was funny, but it was like people would make fun of me, right? And it really hurt. I would get bullied a lot, but I had that funny aspect of me. But when I literally just put muscle on my physique, it is like people treated me more. I literally saw people like open up to me and laugh at my jokes more just because I had muscle. Like, it is such a weird correlation. It's something that's in psychology they call the halo effect. It's basically like where more attractive people like statistically get like higher paying jobs, they're more accepted. It's all these things. And honestly, one of the best things you can do for your body, your attractiveness, whatever, is build muscle. Like, we know this. Like, we know this helps with female attraction, but one thing you don't realize is that your mental health, how happy you are, how fulfilled you are with life, is actually so tied into the dating market. Like, if you're the kind of guy who isn't even able to attract a girl, you could see how you would feel like shit, right? But then if you can build the physique and you finally get some sort of female attraction in your life, they're actually attractive to you, they're not even like degenerate, they're not like going out partying, vaping, you don't have to worry about the girl cheating on you, you could see how much more happier you would be. So basically, the simplest way to basically flip the chart and start leveling up the body is to, one, get into bodybuilding, start building muscle. That is one of the best habits that you could start. And two is also like getting onto a clean diet, cut out all the processed food, because it's really bad for your health. It literally makes you fat. I remember when I started to work out, I was doing a dirty bulk, and I literally ate one whole pizza every day for a year. It sounds like some shitty little YouTube video challenge, but I swear I did. It was like these little boxes with the frozen pizza. You just throw that shit in the oven, right? I would eat that every day for over a year, and I was able to build muscle, but at the same time, my acne was horrible. I felt like shit. I was getting fat. So you really need to cut out all that stuff and kind of like improve your health. By the way, man, I have a community. It's top link in the description. You should go check it out, because if you join right now as I'm recording this video, you get permanent access to all the courses that I'm making, and you get like a free month of one-on-one coaching. So go check it out. So the next thing that we need to start improving is our mind. You'll see so many people are more one-dimensional, and they'll just focus on the body. That's all they do. Like they're going to the gym, and yet they still have a porn addiction. They still doom scroll TikTok or whatever. So the best thing that you could start doing today to level up your mind is to do a dopamine detox. So basically what this is if you have higher dopamine, right? Like a higher baseline of dopamine, you would feel so motivated to do all your work, all your hard tasks. But if you have a lower baseline, you wouldn't want to do any of the work. But the bad thing is you would actually feel like doing all the bad habits. You would feel like watching porn, relapsing on porn. You would feel like eating the junk food, doing all the bad habits, being lazy, skipping the workout. And basically every time you do one of these bad habits that basically spike your dopamine, like eating the junk food, scrolling on TikTok or whatever, it'll spike your dopamine for now. But then your baseline goes lower. So it was right here, right? And then it randomly spikes. It feels good right now. And then your baseline drops. And that's the shitty thing. But the cool thing is that when you're doing the good habits, when you're meditating, you're reading your Bible, you're working out, you're, let's say, even going to martial arts, it kind of feels bad right now. It's kind of uncomfortable, right? Like you have to discipline yourself to do some of that stuff. Slowly, you'll have your baseline go up and up and up. You feel more motivated to do that kind of stuff. You feel more motivated to do the hard work. And you know that if you did the hard work 100% of the time, every single day, you would feel so much more happier. And if you were able to resist all the bad habits, you would also feel so much more happier. A life where you feel so unmotivated to even chase any of your big goals honestly isn't a life worth living. And you'll notice when you get on a dopamine detox, so many people have such low motivation. You can always think of that one family member. They go to the gym, they maybe go for like a couple weeks or maybe a month, and then they quit because they just lose the motivation. You know, I used to be the kind of guy who would indulge in all this stuff. Like I was a porn addict, I was eating the junk food, I was playing the video games, I was scrolling all the apps where you can scroll. And I remember one of the first things I did for dopamine detox was I just deleted all the scrolling apps. Like I deleted TikTok, I deleted Instagram, and that was so early in high school. I'm so grateful I did that. But I remember I would randomly like download Instagram back. It was always Instagram. I felt so peer pressure to get it back. I would download it back and I would scroll again, right? And I would feel my dopamine just like, it feels good now, but then I would feel so unmotivated to do anything. And I would be like, oh man, I'd rather scroll, I'd rather do this, I'd rather do that. And here recently, I got it back again. And maybe like over a month ago, I deleted it again because every time I'm on these apps where I'm scrolling, I watch my mental health just tank. And it's because like even when I was younger, I would do all these things like watching, you know, the bad videos, eating the junk food, playing the video games, all these things that spike my dopamine now. I did that so much that I was so lazy. I wouldn't even do like basic human habits. Like I remember I would play video games, I'll be sweating, and then I would make excuses to not even shower. Like this is when I was like a young teenager, like junior high. And it's a shit cycle to be in. Maybe you're not that bad where you literally aren't even showering, but you'll realize like a lot of people, their dopamine levels are so low, their baseline is so low, they don't even like brush their teeth, they don't even shower. I was the kind of I was the stinky little kid that didn't shower. I always brushed my teeth. But it's a really bad cycle to be in. You're frying your dopamine receptors, you don't even feel motivated to do any of the things that would make you improve, but you keep doing all the bad habits that just make the chart go down, you know? So it's a really shit cycle to be in, and that's why I really need you to start doing this now. The last step you want to level up is your soul. So, you know, a lot of people are into like the gym, right? And then some people like us will do like the dopamine detoxing, and that's cool. But I swear to you, I have never seen someone talk about this part, your soul. Your soul basically consists of two things. First off is like your purpose. What do you want to do with your life? What is your mission? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be remembered as? Like what legacy do you want to leave behind? And the second part of soul is going to be like your relationship with God, Christianity, that kind of thing. Are you a lukewarm Christian, or are you like trying your best to live in the light of the Lord? I'll just talk about that first real quick. I remember I used to be a lukewarm Christian, right? Like I would believe in God, but I wouldn't do like any of the things, like I wouldn't even study my Bible. And so I recently had a friend motivate me so much. I saw him get so much into religion. I saw him get so much fulfillment and happiness out of that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start studying my Bible. So I went on my phone, I downloaded the Bible app, and there's this little thing you can click on. It's like the plan, it's like these miniature little courses. And I would study those. I'm studying one right now. It's like 30 days. And day in and day out, I'm seeing myself learn things from timeless advice. Like the Bible is literally timeless advice. And I'm applying it to my life, and I'm seeing myself get happier, get more fulfilled, and feel this sort of peace with my life. Because it's just a fact, if you had zero sin in your life, you would feel so much more happier. And also, when you watch content, when you consume content, like as you're watching this, you're gonna act more like me. Like that's just how it is, right? When you consume content, you act more like that person, which can be an awesome thing, right? Like you're listening to me, you're gonna pick up more of my habits, right? When you read the Bible, you're going to be more like Jesus. You're gonna have this like concept in your mind where you're like, okay, I need to avoid this because I know it's sinful. It's some like modern day degenerate thing, and I know I need to avoid it. Things that people say are cool, like partying or hooking up, all these things, and you'll know, you'll be sitting back and you'll be happy. They'll probably make fun of you. They'll be like, oh, you're boring, and you know it's just like, no, I'm just devoted to my religion. And so, like I said, the other part of soul is going to be your purpose. What do you want to do? And this is really going to be hard to find, right? So basically, I'll tell you a quick little story of how I was able to find purpose. So this isn't about YouTube, but this is about like what I wanted to do outside of like my online business and weightlifting and all that. So I remember I was training martial arts so much, right? And I wouldn't really hang out with my friends. I was training like 5 times a week, multiple training sessions, and I didn't even realize that I don't really enjoy martial arts that much. Like I love doing it like maybe a couple times a week, but 5 days a week isn't my thing. I really like focusing on hanging out with friends and building muscle as of right now, right? And so I remember I overtrained so much. I tore something in my hand right here, and I like rolled my right ankle, and I like snapped it. And I remember I was like walking out of the training gym, the martial arts gym, and bro, it was so bad having to drive home because it was my right foot. And I had like 2 or 3 days where I couldn't do shit. I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't drive. If I had to walk around to like go grab food, I had to like lean on all the clothes, all the furniture, and I was like hopping on my left leg. So it was shit, right? And I didn't want to be unproductive. I didn't want to be sat here scrolling the whole time. So what I did was I did this practice that I call sitting in silence. I just sat in silence and thought about life. And this is gonna sound really scary to you. You're not gonna want to do this. Most people watching this video right now aren't gonna do this because it's just so uncomfortable sitting down with no distractions. You don't realize how much, like, even watching this video as you're eating food, I know someone is watching this video while they eat, you're distracting yourself from like sitting down in silence and just thinking about your life, because it is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to think about your future, to think about the things that you need to do now to improve. But with purpose, it's like this whole different thing. You sit down and you think about like, what do I want to do? Like, and not what other people want me to do. Like, oh, Carson, you'll be a really good doctor. I was told that basically my whole life. It's like, what do I want to do? Like, I don't care what anyone else says. And you'll be sat there, you'll be praying like, God, please show me what I need to do in my life, like what my mission is, what you put me on this world to do. And I'll be honest, you'll probably end up crying from this. Like, it is kind of sad realizing that you don't really know what you want to do with your life. But I'm so grateful that I was able to start this habit really early. And I was able to decide, like, yeah, I really love making YouTube videos. Like, I was already recording YouTube videos and it was fun. I was like, this is cool. I would love to do this, as a business. And I want you to realize that it may take a couple days. You may have to do multiple sessions. I remember the other day, I was just sat out looking at the trees, watching the rain. And I was just thinking about life. Now I have like, a lot of times I'll have these tears of happiness because I just feel so happy with the direction that my life is going. But I know a lot of you guys will not really feel that sort of happiness. It'll feel scary because it's like you don't really know what you want to do with your life. But this is the practice that you have to do. You have to literally just sit down, no distractions, either out in nature, in your room, no phone, like turn your phone off. Not even just like this button, like the off button. I mean, like, let me show you, like fully off, like that, right? And when you do that, you have no distractions. You're not really thinking about like what do everyone say, what does social media say is cool to do. No. What do I want to do? What do I think God put me on this earth to do? But like I said, even though the results aren't like instant, you're not instantly going to put on like 20 pounds of muscle. It is this newfound hope. Like you look at your future and you feel so happy with, the direction you're going in. And also the fact that you just have this identity shift. Like you used to be a loser, and now you're literally seeing yourself make progress in your body, your mind, your soul. You're more disciplined than like 99% of people. It is such an awesome feeling, and it only takes a few weeks to start these habits and get that newfound hope and get that identity shift. But yeah, man, like I said earlier, if you want to get my one-on-one advice for things like this, if you join the school community right now, you'll get permanent access to like all my courses. Plus, you get 1 month of free one-on-one coaching, so you should go check it out. Also, it's half off right now because I'm still building it. I'm still making the courses, so go check it out while you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.